We're joined today by musician, composer Frankie Vinci. He has a new EP coming out with the book Sleepaway Camp, Making the Movie and Reigniting the Campfire by Jeff Hayes. That's all coming out on 1984 Publishing. Frankie, how you doing today?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. It's great speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Well, first of all, it's the 40th anniversary of the film Sleepaway Camp, and I know you've teamed up with author Jeff Hayes and released an album with his book. How is it for you to finally have the music from that movie released here all together like this?
Well, that's cool. That's in the book. It's a cool addition. The record's been released before in similar situations on Death Waltz Records. This was years ago. They just released like a little vinyl thing, but it wasn't attached with the book like this is, and an interview that I did in that as well. So yeah, it's cool.
Well, I wanted to ask you how you got involved with the film Sleepaway Camp 40 years ago. Did they just approach you or your band at the time, or how did that come about?
No, Robert Hiltzik, we had a mutual friend, and he was looking for some music and came to my house, and I was playing him some of my tracks, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'd love for you to write for this," and that's how it happened. It was a friend of a friend kind of thing. And at the time, I didn't think it was going to be, all these years later, still running. Even when I saw the movie, I go, that was pretty weird. And, you know how things go. All of a sudden, it's caught on, and it did well in the box office. And all these years later, now it's a cult classic. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it definitely has become a favorite to a lot of people over the last 40 years. And the music that you wrote for it, it's going to be, again, released with the new book, the EP there. It's got the 3 songs from the movie, and then you guys, you did a new song here, kind of a remake of the original one for this new EP.
Yeah, the bonus track, he didn't know anything about it because it was never released. It was supposed to be in the last Sleepaway Camp because I hadn't talked to Robert Hiltzik in many years. And when I heard that was happening, I saw it on Jeff Hayes' page. I'd said, let me reach out to him, and we all have the same info and stuff. So I found him, and I said, I would love to be part of this. And I, did the metal version of it, and it just sat there, and no one ever got back to me. Then I saw it was a straight to DVD release on Redbox back in the Redbox days, and I was like, wait a minute, they didn't get back to me. So it was like it slipped through the cracks, But so I told the publisher, hey, I have this other track, you should hear it. So it's kind of cool to have the bonus track. No one else has heard that,
Definitely. And Frankie, I know aside from releasing your own music, you've worked a lot in the studio over the years, helping other artists. And the list of people I saw you've worked with is incredible. Alice Cooper, Bootsy Collins, Roberta Flack. I mean, it's definitely a who's who of people you've been with over the years.
Yeah, my career is long. The music career has been long because I wrote jingles in Manhattan for many years at a very big agency. Jingle House, as we call it. So a lot of people came through. Roberta Flack did a Hilton Hotel spot, so I got to work with her. Bootsy played bass on a song I wrote with Robert Lamb from Chicago that Phil Ramone produced. So that was kind of cool, working with Phil Ramone. And it was an all-star band on that record. Many people. Alice Cooper I was on tour with my band, Fotomaker, on Atlantic Records. So we did a few dates with Alice and Aerosmith and Van Halen. It was a whole nother life. I was 24 at the time, 25, and my band Fotomaker was opening up for all these great acts. That was, like I said, it's another lifetime, so it feels like another person when I'm thinking about it and talking about it.
And you mentioned writing the themes and the jingles over the years, and I mean, you've got a lot of songs over there that I remember hearing growing up. What are some of that you are maybe most proud of, or some of your favorites for the listeners?
Well, I think the biggest one, which wasn't a jingle, it was a theme, and there's not many people that can say this, and I have to brag about it, is I wrote the Super Bowl theme for CBS, the NFL theme, and, many people wrote for it. It wasn't like I was going to win it. I said, I don't even do that kind of stuff. But the boss of the Jingle House said, no, they don't want to go, traditional. They want to go more rock and roll. And I need 12 notes that say, go get your beer. And I gave them 26 notes in a minor key. And it was like, yeah, I'll put it at the end of the reel. I don't think you got it, you know. And then later that day, they said they picked yours out of everybody's, and it ran 10 years on the NFL Game of the Week theme. And I think it was on 3 or 4 Super Bowls, or as many as they had during those years, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pinnacle. And then, you know, I sang and wrote and produced a lot of toy commercials. The Bounty one was our jingle. There's so many, I can't even remember because I did it for about 15 years. And the toy commercials were fun, you know, because they were just kind of short little rock and roll ditties that we would just put together. And Nestle Crunch was a big one, too. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. And then the Bounty Quicker Picker Upper we did. And, yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot, 10 years of work there.
Well, this might be a strange question, but, you know, with a jingle like the Super Bowl theme, is it more satisfying to know that a jingle you wrote is heard by a billion people without them knowing it came from you versus, you know, maybe releasing an album or a song?
I don't know. I never gave it that thought. You know, family and friends knew, of course, you know. But, and I tell interviewers that, you know, when I get that question, what was your big hit in the jingles? And I always say the Super Bowl because I don't know how many there have been, 40-something, but they use the same theme, you know, over and over. So, I should say the NFL Game of the Week theme and the Super Bowl, they tie it in, especially with CBS, you know. They use the same theme over and over. And actually the Super Bowl theme is in a movie now. It's called American Underdog.
Okay. And
that was kind of a surprise after all these years. You know, it's on, I don't think it's a big blockbuster, but I think it's on Netflix or one of the streaming channels. What it is, it's a true story about the quarterback that was thrown in the game last minute, and he was like an old timer in his 30s, you know, and he won the game. So they used the theme behind whatever the announcer was, Brett Summerall, I think it was. So that was kind of a nice surprise. And, yeah, to get resurrected after all those years and to be in a movie. So, yeah, I consider that a hit. And the toy commercials along the way.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of those themes are, you know, from the old commercials especially, a lot of them get stuck in people's heads and they remember them years later. They almost become like kind of classic rock songs in a way where they kind of become part of your fabric in a way.
No, I know. I get emails. Even someone started a Facebook page, Bring Back Frankie Vinci's NFL theme. You know, it's like, and people write in there and they fans are talking about, oh, I used to watch the game with my dad. I hate what's on there now. They should bring back this theme, you know. So it's kind of nostalgic now, you know. And it'd be nice to come back to it because it was nice money. You know, it was good paycheck, good royalty check.
Sure.
And yeah, it's like having a hit record because it ran, you know, on every channel, and you're talking about across the country. So, you know, whatever game's playing in New York is different what's playing in Nashville or what's playing in California. So they use the theme in all the markets, and you get paid for different markets. So that was a nice hit record for those few months that the season is out, you know?
Yeah. Well, Frankie, you've done just about everything in the music world, and I know you've kind of moved more to the art side of things in recent years. How did that come about? Was it just time for a change, or?
Well, no, I'm still doing music. I produce a lot of local talent, up-and-coming talent, and they seek me out. I play 6 instruments. I have my studio in my house, so I groom them and get them ready to try to go become the next Taylor Swift or whoever, you know. The art thing, I'm very artistic, you know, and I was going to go to school for art out of high school, but then my band got picked up and, you know, just stayed with music. For some reason, I dropped art in all these years. I never thought of, like, let me go back and do something, because I was into surrealism more than what I'm doing now. But I was, the way it happened was I looked for universe signs, and I was at a friend's house who's wealthy, and he has a big art collection, and I saw Mr. Brainwash, and it touched me. I said, this is really cool. You know, it was just kind of abstract and had the iconic, you know, kind of Andy Warhol look to it with drip paint and graffiti. And I said, well, so what I did is got into the street art crowd. I love street art and graffiti. So I brought that into being influenced by all that. And so I tried to get street art and graffiti onto canvas by making it look weathered and anything that makes graffiti work with the tags and and the right images, and I peel the paper, and I just distress it, and that's how I kind of got into it. It was just I liked doing it, and then I started getting a lot of buzz. People were like, "Oh, I love your art," and then I sold a lot of art in the last 4 years, so it became, like you said, a new career. Like Grandma Moses, I came out of the woodwork and I'm selling art.
That's excellent. Well, Frankie, I know your EP is coming out with the new Sleepaway Camp book, Making the Movie and Reigniting the Campfire. Is there anything else maybe coming up for you or something else on the horizon that you're working on?
Just really doing the artwork and doing shows in Connecticut and New York City. And I'm going to be branching out to Florida and the Hamptons. And the weather breaks back to summer, I'll be out there more. And I'm still working on music and trying to get songs out to major artists. But it's hard today because everybody kind of writes their own stuff, or they write with the producers or the top 5 pop writers in the country, so I'm kind of out of that loop. But the songs are still here and they're still strong, and I'm writing as young as I've always written. And, just keeping at it, keeping creative. That's the biggest thing you can do as an artist, is just keep going. And hopefully something clicks just like the art did. And Sleepaway Camp was kind of out of the blue, like it was, just get the call and you say, this sounds like a dumb idea, and then you do it. And then it's like, wait, this is fun, So you got to keep your antennas up and try to get creative to the projects that come your way.
Well, it's been great speaking with you, and I appreciate your time, and I'm glad to have the Sleepaway Camp music here all in one spot, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes up for you here down the road. Yeah,
I can't wait to see the book and hold it,
Sure.
I don't know what we're in for. I don't know if I told you earlier, but I don't think I did, is I did some artwork for it as well. I did a little postcard that'll be an insert with the Sleepaway Camp knife through the sneaker posters. So the publisher and I said, let me just give me a little promo postcard and be cool for someone to have it,
Definitely.
So that came out pretty cool. It's just like style of my art without the graffiti, just kind of raw and the edgy street art. Anybody want to reach out to me and see some more art, let me know. Pop my website, Vinci Pop Art, on Instagram or Facebook, or my website is the same handle.
Excellent. Sounds good, man. I appreciate the time today. Thank you again.
All right, mate. Thank you very much. Good day.
And again, that was Frankie Vinci. You can hear his music from the Sleepaway Camp film. It's included with the new book, Sleepaway Camp, Making the Movie and Reigniting the Campfire by Jeff Hayes, and it's available now.